Hello coin collectors out there, welcome back to the Big D Coins channel. Hopefully everyone is having a great day. In today's video we're going to talk about the 1990s Canadian 1-cent coins. Now there was a very important break of the different metal contents as well as a slight change in the design that occurred between 1996 and 1997. So that will be the primary focus of today's video. Now I noticed that my 1960s Canadian 1-cent coin video seemed to do pretty well, got a lot of nice feedback on that. At the time of recording this, have about 18 comments, so people are generally pretty happy with that video. So I decided I'd pick a new decade to make a Canadian 1-cent coin video about and want to focus in on an important transitional year, so that's why I settled on the 1990s. Now when you're coin roll hunting Canadian coins, if you haven't done so already, unfortunately you kind of missed your chance. You can no longer get the 1-cent coins from Canadian banks. But if you were doing so 2013 and earlier, here's what you would kind of have been looking for. Now you want to look for what they call King Georges. So here's a couple of examples of King George V, King George VI. These were some of the earlier Canadian coins. This one right here happens to be dated in 1921. This one right here happens to be dated in 1947. You would also be on the lookout for wheat pennies. So I live here in the United States in Maine. Pretty close to a popular tourist destination for Canadians. So I do get a lot of the Canadian 1-cent pennies that do kind of come into my coin rolls that I get from banks as well as just from pocket change from cashiers when I'm getting change from them. So I come across probably more Canadian coins than most people do in the United States. So I've got all of these ones up at the top right here from Coin Roll Hunting. I think I actually purchased these King Georges online, but I've got some other Canadian 1990s that we'll bring into the video a little bit later as well. So if you're in Canada and you're just getting into coin collecting, congratulations. And if you're looking through Canadian pennies, maybe you got your hands on someone else's collection, check out, keep your eye out for the King Georges as well as the wheat pennies from the United States. These ones are fun to collect. They're worth a little bit more than face value because of their cool design on the reverse. So I'm going to bring these ones out of the frame and we'll focus in on these ones right here. Now I was doing research about the cutoff date between the mostly copper and the mostly zinc pennies and found that it was 1997. So all 1997s and after should be made out of mostly zinc. Now I thought this one right here actually maybe was a error coin. So as you can see, this one right here is dated 1996. This one right here is dated 1996. However, the wear and tear on these two coins is quite drastically different. So I thought, maybe I hit the jackpot here. Maybe I've got an error coin. Maybe I've got a coin that was dated 1996 that actually was made out of mostly zinc. So what I do then is I put it on the scale. So I'm firing up the scale and let's slide it over here. So the mostly copper Canadian penny that was made from 1990 until 1996 should have a weight of 2.5 grams. Now I'm fairly confident, let me get the scale, that this one right here has definitely got the copper coloring. It's dated 1996. So this should weigh 2.5, it weighs 2.54, so definitely a copper penny. Now this one right here, which I had questions about, it's a very nice looking 1996. Maybe this one right here actually weighs the weight of the zinc penny. So the weight that the zinc penny should weigh is 2.25. Unfortunately, it's right on the money at 2.49. So this is definitely a mostly copper penny, so it didn't hit the jackpot. But let me back up and talk a little bit more about the actual metal contents of these coins, and then we'll get into the mintages, and that will help kind of explain why 1990 is the hardest year to find and 1999 are so abundant. So as far as the different metal contents, we'll trace it all the way back. So from 1858 to 1859, 95% copper. from 1867 to 1941, 95.5% copper, and then they decreased the tin, increased the zinc a little bit, and then from 1942 until 1977, 98% copper, then from 78 till 96, 98% copper, and then from 97 until 98, 98.4% zinc. So Canada did change up their metal contents quite a lot, but the real key cutoff date is that of 1996. If you get one that's from 1996 and earlier, it will have at least 95% copper in it. So that copper value will be worth more than the face value of the coin alone. That's why people enjoy collecting these. They hang on to these. Some people sell them on eBay in large lots. Others are more of the kind of the preppers and the hoarders who are trying to save that copper in the event that you can melt it down and then sell it later, or if there is some type of catastrophe that copper metal would be worth more than the current value of it. So it's kind of like a hedge against a apocalypse or some type of real crazy disaster that could happen. So as far as the mintages of these coins go, let me bring in some others from 1990s. So we got 1999 on the bottom and 1998. So these ones down here, these are clearly the mostly zinc. These are copper plated zinc pennies. They're in great condition. Part of that is because of that copper plated zinc. They've got a much shinier design to them. Also, another key design difference that you'll notice between the 96 and the 1999 is the one on the top is actually a 12-sided coin. So that's what's called Dodecagonal. Hopefully I said that right. I always struggle with that word. Dodecagonal coin. So that's a 12-sided coin. Then the coin down here is definitely round. So this is just your standard round coin. This one's going to be mostly zinc. It's going to be a copper-plated zinc, so it doesn't look too much different. But the core metal is a much less expensive metal content to make. So as far as the mintages go, the most rare year in the 1990s is going to be the year 1990. There are only 218 million made. The most common year, that will be the last year, so that's pretty interesting. Kind of it bookends the 1990s with the least common year and the highest most produced year. The highest most produced year, 1990. Any guesses on how many were made in that year? If you guessed over a billion, you were correct. There were 1,089,625,000 of these 1999s produced. So if you've got a 1999, unfortunately, it's not going to be rare. Unfortunately, it also doesn't have any copper to it. So you might want to just toss that back into circulation, give it to someone you know who's trying to build a set registry of Canadian coins, or do whatever with it you please. But you're much more likely to hang on to these 1996s. So 1996 and earlier, again, I've said it a few times on the video so far, that's going to be 98% copper. All right, I think I got my point across as far as the cutoff between the copper and the zinc, the copper-plated zinc coins for the Canadian coins. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. We'll get back to some regularly scheduled United States coins on videos to come later. Thank you very much, everyone, and best of luck coin collecting out there. Enjoy!